Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to this Let's Play series of Star Trek Online. As you can see, we are on Deep Space Nine, and we're going to be making our way over to Risa in just a moment. And that is because the summer event is now active. Now, before we go over there, there's a few things I want to pick up. You will note here that I have emptied out my inventory. False fire, one of the guys in the Priority 1 Armada was giving me shtick how my inventory was clogged up and that it was very, very untidy and what have you. So, yes, look, it's all cleaned up now. Anyway, as you see there, I just moved over 3,000 of these things. They're called Little Not Favors. And I'm also going picking up this item here, which is a Risa floater and a Risa mini power board. And we will talk about these items in the not too distant future, later on in this episode. Anyway, we're going to beam up, and then we're going to transwarp to Risa. We have a transwarp option to get to Risa, which is pretty cool. And yeah, we're just basically going to talk about the entire Risa event. I'll give you guys a run through of everything, and we'll talk about the different activities that you can do there. Close this down and transwarp, and we want to go to Risa system. Away we go. So yeah, we'll talk about the different activities that you can do there, the rewards for each of them, sort of like a guide or a walkthrough on strategies and how to do them and stuff like that, and what you should be working on if it's your first time here. The sort of stuff you would expect at this stage from this series and other content on my channel. Right, so when you get here, you will have the option in the lower right hand corner to depart the system, as you can see right there. If you move forward a little bit, a pop-up window will appear. Oh, excuse me. And you have two options. Beam to Summer Resort or Beam to Classic Beach. You want Beam to Summer Resort. And this is where the main summer event takes place in Star Trek Online. As the name suggests, it takes place during the summer, every year. And this is actually the free ship that we are getting this year, that Rysian Corvette. Right. Now, if this is your first time coming here, you should have this option, which is Welcome to Risa. And you'll automatically get one of these Lolo Not Favors. So I'm going to accept that. And we collect the mission. Now, if it is your first time, there's the favor that we just got, okay? You open up your character sheet, go to the Reputation tab, make sure you're on the Events Reputation, and in here you will have a project that costs one of these favors. I don't have it on this character because I've already unlocked the Summer Event Store. So it'll be a project just like this, but it will take one of these things, okay? And once you fill that project, it will then unlock the Summer Event Store. You see it here, Summer Event Store. And we'll talk about this a little later. Right. The next thing I want to do is... oh, it looks like they're set up already. All right, okay. Dance off is going on. All right, we've got about 15 minutes. That's not bad. So this is the beam-in point. And this area here is known as the boardwalk. If we go over here, well, you see we just got an accolade. You get that for just walking on the boardwalk. Over here, alright, give you some reference, that's where we beamed in. We walked along there and came down here. You have another way of accessing the Summer Event Store. You talk to this Rysian vendor, and you have Summer Event, you have GPL items, and then things are broken down into different categories like floaters, power boards, and swimwear. Yeah, it's a little bit easier. If you go through this way into the Summer Event Store, everything, let's get this, close it down. Summer event store. Everything is all pushed in together in one place. It's much of a muchness, all right, okay? One place they're broken up into slightly smaller categories, the other place they're all bunched together. Who really gives a crap? Anyway, we'll talk about some of the stuff that's available. So, you see here we have a number of emotes. These are all different emotes, like a baseball swing emote, a dance swish emote, a dance cupid emote. These are new Starship audio emotes. To be honest with you, I actually haven't picked any of these up yet, so I don't know what they're like. You have some food items. Stuff, noteworthy stuff would be this caracal bowl. I believe if you feed this to any tribble, it will breed a special Lulanaut tribble or a Ryzian tribble. There is a new food item this year. I cannot remember what it is. It might be, well, yeah, it's one of these things here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 80% sure that if you feed any one of these things, probably not the drinks, to any tribble, there's a brand new tribble that's available. So you have a Lulanaut tribble and you have a Ryzian tribble. And they have different buffs. Like one of them, I think, is speed on floaters and stuff like that. Anyway, right, as we continue down, you can see there's different costumes, shirts, shorts, baseball uniforms. There's some new baseball uniforms this year. Going down, we can see we have kit modules. Then we have training manuals, all for the various different careers. Down below that, we have a new thing, which is vanity shields. You can see here we have Deep Space Nine Niners, or Deep Space Niners, Vulcan Logicans, Cation Claws, Ferenginar Liquidators, Bozeman Titans, and the Nebium Slime Devils. This is a new thing that just basically give like a different skin to your starship. Kind of cool, yeah. I've picked up a couple of them already. Down further then you have vanity pets, non-combat pets, and you can also trade in favors for Ryzian tropical bird eggs, something that we'll talk about later. And there's only one device, the baseball device. Basically, you can throw a baseball at someone and they can throw it back. The cooldown time for this thing is ridiculous. It's like 30 seconds, so you can only throw it once every 30 seconds, which is ridiculous in my opinion. But anyway. GPL items do not normally appear in the summer event store, but this is a GPL vendor as well. And actually, do I have a subspace party nullifier? I don't. Right. If you've ever been on Kronos or Earth Space Dock or Deep Space Nine or anywhere, and you notice that some people throw up these subspace party amplifiers. There's a big ball up in the sky, lights start flashing, and everyone in the local area starts dancing, and you cannot control it. You automatically start dancing. That's because they've activated this thing, a subspace party amplifier. If you don't like it, and you don't want to be included in that, as in forced to dance, you can pick up this thing here for 100 GPL, which is a subspace party nullifier, alright? And we buy one of those, you leave it in your inventory, and that's it. You will never be forced to dance again if you don't want to. Continuing down, we got a couple of different costume options. They're sunglasses. There's 4 different types of sunglasses that you can get there. Next category, we have floaters. As you can see here, if it is your first time to Ryza, you can rent one here for energy credits, because when you get here, if it's your first time, you won't have any of these favors, so you won't be able to purchase any of the good ones with favors. Obviously, the more cheaper ones are not as good. If we scroll down further, you can see they get more expensive, and these are the really good ones that you want. So, for example, this one here has a plus 70 flight speed, which is the one that we actually have equipped. What I should say about these devices is you no longer have to have them in a device slot on your character. Having them in your inventory is sufficient enough now, which is fantastic. If we move on to the next category, same deal. We have power boards. There's a couple of rental ones here for energy credits, and then cheap ones for some favors. My advice is buy the cheap one for 50 favors. Same thing with the floaters, to get started off and build up your favors, and then go for one of the top tier bad boys, whatever one you want. If memory serves, 8880, there is no difference. Oh no, there is a difference. 73 120. Okay, so you want one of these ones that cost 1500. They've got the best stats. Then we have swimwear. So you can see we have female stuff here, and we continue down, and eventually we come to male stuff. There's shorts, wetsuits, different types of shorts, more shorts, retro stuff. There is a huge amount of stuff that you can purchase from the summer event store. Over here we have the tailor. Okay, you can set up your costumes. I should point out that you can only wear swimwear on Ryza. It doesn't normally work on any other map. So one of the first things that you want to do when you get here, whether it's your first time here or not, is you want to start working on the daily for getting the free T6 ship. This year it is a Ryzian Corvette, a T6 Ryzian Corvette. And everyone will have this project during the summer event. If you're watching this video after the summer event, this project won't be available for you. But if it's a different summer event, if it's not the 2019 summer event, there'll be a different one here. So we select that and we put that in here. And we can see it takes 1,000 Lolonaut prize vouchers 2019. So how do we get those? All right. You talk to this NPC here, okay? And it's the event coordinator. You select Flying High, and you can see we get 40 of these favors or vouchers by completing this mission. So you accept the mission, activate your floater, and see this holographic course appears. And all you have to do is fly this course 3 times. There's 3 different... well, actually, there's more than 3 options, but you just have to fly any 3 of them. This is one of them. And, yeah, you have a choice of which 3 you do. Piloting the floater is pretty easy. I use WASD keys along with the spacebar. Here's the second course. Yeah, spacebar to go up. If you're pointing down, you'll continue to move downwards, and if you want to go up, you can either point up. You can use your mouse as well for steering. See the way I'm sort of going all over the place here, and if I point up, I go up, and if I point down, I start going down, and so on. So if you like piloting with your mouse, you can do that. It is totally possible. So I'm looking up here at the minimap, and we can see there's 2 different areas I can go to. So I'm heading to this one because I think it's closer. And we're just flying across the Ryzian jungle. And here is the next one. And once we complete this, we will be able to turn in that mission back at the event coordinator. And we will get 40 of those vouchers. Now, if you're doing this every day or once every 20 hours, it will take you 25 days to... Actually, here's what I'm going to do. See this option in the bottom right? I can do an immediate site-to-site transport to different areas on the map. I want to go back to the resort, so that's what I'm going to do now. So anyway, yeah, if you do the Flying High daily once every 20 hours or once a day, you get 40 favors every time you do it. It can only be done once every 20 hours, and it will take you 25 days to build up 1,000 favors. In my opinion, that is pretty sweet. What did that take? 2-3 minutes? tops. That's how long it took us to do the daily. It's really, really easy. You don't even need a good floater to do it. A cheap one will do. The rental will do until you can afford a good floater. Right, let's continue on. We can see here there's actually there's a ship that we're getting this year. They've updated the lighting. They've put a sunset mode on the lighting this year, which is kind of nice. This area here, actually no, we'll talk about this stuff in here. So if you go into the resort, there's a couple of things in here that are noteworthy. We've got a Dobbo table. You can play Dobbo here.
Spin the wheel and win.
You can set up your bets, and you can actually play Dobbo. You bet energy credits, and you win Gold Press Platinum. So that's kind of cool. There's a couple of vendors like this Ferengi Trader. He's got some stuff here. Clubwear already owned. Shuffle Dance already owned. This is actually a full GPL vendor, this guy. He's got all of the GPL stuff. In here at the back, you have bank, mail, and exchange access. Okay. There's another vendor over here. I believe this is a 30 or 40% vendor, if memory serves. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's like a 40% vendor. Is this one? This one would be a 40% vendor as well, wouldn't it? We'll have a look-see. Yep, it is. Yeah, okay, so there's a couple of vendors there. Remember, you want to work with 50% vendors, not 30 or 40% vendors. Right, the next thing I want to talk about is this list up here in the top right hand corner. Now, throughout a 90-minute period, there are different events taking place in different locations around the Ryzen map. Currently, there is the dance-off competition. You can see everybody over here. This is where it takes place. And all you do is you basically come to this location while the dance party is active. And you select this option here, I want to dance. Okay? And the easiest thing to do is click on this button, click on emotes, or mouse over emotes, and then click on the pin option. And that'll pin the emotes to your HUD. And then stretch it, and you can move it to wherever you want. And basically what will happen is you'll get notified here in your chat log for the different dance moves that you have to do. So, for example, the dance coordinator might say, do the leg kick, or raise the roof, do the robot, running man, shuffle, do the snake, wave your hands, stuff like that. And you just have to do the dance emote when you're prompted to. You get about 100 favors for doing that. And the dance-off lasts for about 15 minutes, roughly. Yeah, that's that. Okay, we are going to move over this direction now. We're going over to an area that is known as the Promenade. And we'll see it here momentarily. There it is there. This is the Promenade area. Okay. And the reason why I'm coming over here is because the next event we can see is the Powerboard race, and this is where the Powerboard race starts. You just line up here, and you get on your Powerboard, and you just basically have to run a course. Now, if it is your first time coming here, in here at this desk there is a vendor, and you can rent a really crappy Powerboard for 1000 EC. And like I said before, my recommendation is do that, build up 50 favors, then buy one of the cheap ones for 50 favors, and stay with that until you can earn enough favors to buy one of the good ones for 1500. Okay? Right. So, excuse me. Oh, actually, I know what I want to do. Little trick. Everybody's going to be coming here in a minute, so I'm going to try and pick an instance that has very few people in it, like so, and this will give me a better chance of doing well during the power board race, basically. Whenever it decides to load. There we go. Right, see here we have option beam to race start point. I'm going to select that because the power board race is now active. And we have 43 seconds, so I'm going to activate my power board. I'm going to click join race, and we can see the race course appears to us. And yeah, look, it's a race. You just follow the course and try not to go out of bounds by too much. There is quite a lot of leeway. You can cut corners for a lot of the course, but if you if you go way out of bounds, you will be disqualified, and you won't get any rewards. With a bit of practice, you won't have any problem with it. Actually, I was hoping I was going to have one of the good boards, but unfortunately I don't. So this one I have for free because it was given to us a number of years ago. Right. Alright, so you can see here what I mean by cutting corners. You can actually cut corners by quite a bit. Now, something that you might want to do is when you get to the top of one of these things, you want to jump, and you see that boost that I got there? That was a speed boost for jumping basically at the right moment. And see, we got another one there for going through those two markers. And yeah, these can really help to get you, way ahead in the race. It's actually really good. There is a guy right on my tail, though. Man, he is right on my tail. He's overtaken. There he goes. Alright, okay, so I'm probably only going to get second place. That's alright, though. I'm happy with second. Totally happy with second.
Grab the flag at the end of the race.
Whoa! Okay, second it is. And I got 6 tropical tags and 50 Lolonot favors for that. If I had come in first, I would have got 12 tags and I believe 75 favor. It might be 100. I think it's 75 though. Right. The next thing I want to do is we're going to go back over to the promenade. We're going to select the site-to-site transport again. And I'm going to show you what we can actually do with these tags that we just got. So remember, this is where the race started. See the start sign there? This is the vendor. Sorry about that, guys, getting a message on my phone. There's the start point, and this is the vendor where you can rent your board. Okay. And if we go up these steps here and we keep to the right, over here you have an NPC contact where basically you can convert these tropical tags into something useful. So what you do is you need 6 of them to do this stuff. So we select research feather monkey tags, and it opens up a duty officer mission. And you can see it requires 6 tags. And sure enough, we've got 6 tags. And we click begin. It's got a 20-hour cooldown. Now, what happens with that is, in 20 hours, we will get one of these. See the monkeys here? See? Little guy? Whoop, too far. This little dude here, alright? We get one of those, alright? And it will either be blue, green, or red. Let's say he's blue, okay? And he starts off as a baby, then he becomes a juvenile, and then he becomes an adult. Every time, let's say we do the baby one, if we crit on that mission, he will then get one of these tiki masks. And basically it makes him more valuable. And he can crit at any stage. So when we complete this mission in 20 hours, we might crit on it, and it will be a baby with a tiki mask. So then we would select this option. And then he will become a juvenile with a tiki mask, and then he will become an adult with a tiki mask. Alright? And each of the missions takes 20 hours. Now, here's why you want to do it. See this. Trade in feather monkeys. Okay? And you select the color of the monkey. Okay? And depending on what level it's at, alright, so if it's a baby with a mask, if it's a juvenile with a mask or whatever, all the way up to an adult here with a mask, you can trade it in for your choice of marks. The most is this one here at the very bottom, which is 100 marks. And this one is like, I want to say 60 marks or 80 marks. One of the two anyway. I can't remember which. But anyway, it goes down progressively, you know, the lower the quality. Yeah, you basically get marks, you know, for taking part in these different events on Ryza. Now, here is the next one. I'm going to take the site-to-site transport. I'm going back to the resort. The next event is about to start. It is the Horgon hunt. And I'm going to activate my floater. And I'm going over this way. And I'm going to show you guys the most efficient route, in my opinion, for doing the Horgon hunt. Now, you always start here. And Horgons always appear in one of two places. So one of them is here. The other one is there for this location. Alright? So he's either going to be here or here. Alright? And every time you find a Horgon, you get favors for it. Pretty simple, huh? And that's all you have to do. You just have to find them. And they're all marked on the map as well. All marked on the map. I'm going to deactivate that for a second. So we select I want to hunt for Horgons in the lower right. Hunt Horgons or Horgon hunt. Activate. And we activate our floater. And he's over here this time. Collect Horgon. See him glowing there in the lower left. And we got 2 favors. Move on to the next one. And we're going round the back of the resort now. And once again, it will be within one of 2 places. Either here or in there. Alright. Come on. Now, with practice, you will learn this route off by heart like I have. And with practice and a good floater, you can easily get 3, 4, maybe 5 characters through a single round of the Horgon hunt. Okay? Now we're going around the back of the promenade, and it'll either be here or it'll be over here. Okay? One or 2 places. This is where he is this time, according to the minimap. This is the other location where it could have been, where that bush is. Next one is either going to be behind this tree or it's going to be in here. And it is. It's in here. Okay, now we go over this direction. And it's either going to be up here or it's going to be down over this side. And it is down over this side. Now, every time you locate a Horgon, and by the way, the next one is either here or over here, and it looks like it's over here. But every time you locate a Horgon and you pick up your favors, there is a chance that you will also pick up a Ryzian egg. Alright? The next one is either here or here. Alright? And this time it is here. You can see it glowing there. It's not guaranteed every time, you know, like even throughout the course. It is only a chance that you can get it. And if you do get lucky enough to get one of the eggs, you can do the very same thing that you done with the tanks. You can hatch the egg, you can raise the chick, and basically develop it into a bird. And you can turn those birds in for marks, depending on the level of the bird. Or, if you're interested, you can also keep the bird or the monkey as a pet, because you can actually keep them as pets and they can join you. So there's the course anyway. I know I've done that very fast, but this could be a very long video if I don't kind of go through this stuff fairly quickly. Anyway, you can see at the very end we get 75 favors. And we probably got about, I don't know, say between 15 and 25 during it as well. And look, there's over 11 minutes left on the clock. So I could switch characters now and do this all over again on a different character. Finish that one, switch characters again, and so on and so forth. Right, next is the biathlon. We've got quite a bit of time to kill for that one. Let's go back over to the promenade. Oh, yes, okay. Promenade. Remember that camp, by the way. Just remember that camp. We'll talk about that a little later. Okay. Oh, that's got to be lag. That is lag. I've never seen that happen before. Okay, there's a vendor over here. It's a bartender. And as you would expect, you can get food and drink from the bartender. You can see the new items are located up the top there. We had these items as well in the summer event store. You cannot sell to this vendor. So, yeah, there's no 50% vendors that I know of on Ryza. At least I don't think so. I can't remember if there... I can't remember any. So, yeah, that's probably the safest thing to say. We come back up here. This is where you can purchase duty officers. You can see we have con officers, we have entertainers, and we have geologists. And you purchase them with favors. A purple quality is 1,000 favors, and rare quality is 200 favors. The stats aren't fantastic, but you know, if you're stuck for purple or blue duty officers, you know, maybe it's something you might want to invest in. I mean, you know, small power boost after exiting evasive maneuvers. It's nice. It's not fantastic. This one is grant a temporary bonus to dodge for anyone who spends a short time dancing under your subspace party amplifier. I mean, under normal circumstances, when the hell are you going to have a party nullifier or amplifier, sorry, prior to you going into combat? It's, you know, it's not going to happen. So yeah, in my opinion, not that great, to be perfectly honest with you. Right, we're going back over here. This is where the monkey thing was again. All right, there's a you can go across that rope bridge if you want. If we look down here, this is the start for the power board race. And what I want to show you over here is where the NPC is for raising the oh, actually, I know what I can do. The eggs. Right, so we're going to open up the summer event store, and I'm going to... Wait, that's winter event. I want summer event. Yes. Keep on going down. A bit further. Whoop, back up one. I'm going to buy a rising egg. Now, I could have... Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't do this, alright? I think it's a waste to spend favors on eggs. But just to show you guys what to do, alright? When you're doing the Horgon hunt, this is the item that you have a chance of also picking up as well every time you locate a Horgon. It's a very small chance, but if you're doing it regularly, and especially on multiple characters, you're going to end up with tons of these things. So anyway, let's say you've ended up with one or more of these things on a character. You come to this NPC here, alright? Talk to them, and you will have the option to hatch an egg. Click on it, and once again, it's a duty officer mission, and it takes 20 hours, costs 1 egg, and you hit begin. Simple as that. 20 hours later, it will either be a sea spray, a grotto glider, a passion wing, a dust diver, a sunset streamer, or a fire spray. Okay? Let's pick sea spray. It starts off as a fledgling, then an adult, then a senior, and then you have tuft versions of your fledgling, adult, or senior. The tuft ones are the ones that are worth more marks. Okay? This one being the most. And again, if we go all the way down to the bottom, we can trade in tropical birds, and depending on what birds you have, you select it from the list here, and then you go to the appropriate one. It'll be highlighted for you already, or it'll be selectable for you. And once again, you get your choice of marks for turning in that pet. But like I said earlier, some people are really, really big into their pets. They really do love their pets, and not just monkeys and birds. But Star Trek Online has any god's amount of pets. There's so many pets in game, it's ridiculous. But yeah, if you like, having one of those Rysian birds follow you around, you can put it into. I can't remember if it has to go into a device slot. I think it does have to go into a device slot, and then you can add it to your tray down here from this list. Just drag and drop, and anytime you click on it, it will then activate the pet. And if it's one of the monkeys, it'll look like one of these guys. Depending on what stage it's at, it might be this size or it might be a great deal bigger. And they will follow you around. Right. Let's see. We're going to give you a little bit of a tour. So we are going to go over yonder. Actually, let's... Yeah. Go on our board for a little bit. So, I don't know. I'm sure most of you would all remember the TNG episode titled Captain's Holiday, where it was where Captain Picard went to Risa on a vacation, and he ended up having an adventure with Vosh. And if you remember, they kind of found a cave thing on Risa with the Toxu Tot. Well, check this out. We got a cave. This is meant to be it. Of course, it looks nothing like it, but it's basically what it's meant to represent. This is actually the cave where the Toxu Tot was buried. And funny enough, there is a mission in Star Trek Online where you come back to bury that item that Captain Picard later finds here on Risa. So yeah, little track nugget there of information. Oh, there's one of the monkeys. There's one of the monkeys there. Now, where the hell's the exit? Here it is. This is what I'm looking for. But yeah, cool little track nugget that. Captain's Holiday, a good episode of TNG, always one of my favourites. Right, okay, so we are back now at, this area is known as Gwyn's Camp. So if we look at the map, this is the resort, okay? This is the resort area. This is the dance floor here, where the dance-off was. This is the promenade, and this is where we started the powerboard race, and we went up here, went underneath this arch, underneath this one, over here, underneath these two, down along here. This is where we are now. This is the cave that we went into. Remember, this area is known as Gwyn's Camp. Then we came down along here, down here, over here, down here, and we finished here. The next event is the biathlon. And what's going to happen is the start point is going to pop up here shortly, and we're going to go the opposite direction, okay? and we're going to go down along here, and then once we get to here, we're going to turn sharply right, and once we get to this spot here, we're going to switch over from our power board to our floater, and then we're going to fly through a number of rings down along here, and basically following this path here up until we get to around this point, and then we're going to turn sharply right, and we're going to finish up in here, in this dormant volcano. That's what that is there. So that's the Ryzen map, and actually bring that back up again. The site-to-site transport, beam to resort will bring you down here to the resort. Beam to promenade will bring you over here, because this is the promenade, and beam to Slovak's camp will bring you over here. And like I said, the biathlon is going to appear here momentarily. Now, if you wait for the event to actually start, you will have an option down here that will also tell you beam to race start point, and you can actually beam directly to the start line, which is actually kind of handy. Alright, there's 47 seconds left on the Horgon hunt, so we're nearly there. And after that, then we have the scavenger hunt. And then we're back to the powerboard race. And yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm not going to talk about this ship anymore in this series. The point of this episode was basically to show you guys, look, this is how you get the ship. So you've seen me do the daily, and we got the 40 vouchers. You do it once a day, every day for 25 days, or once every 20 hours, and you get 1,000 favors. I'm not doing it on this character. I'm doing it on my main character. But once I have earned the ship on my main character, this ship is then unlocked for the entire account. Every character on my account can then claim this ship. Look, if this ship is not something you want, you don't like the look of it, the starship trace is no good for your build or play style, the ship itself is no good for your play style or whatever, I strongly advise that you get it anyway. It's not hard. A 2-3 minute daily for 25 days is not a huge ask, and at the very least it is a good Admiralty card for you. Okay? At the very least, it's a good Admiralty card. So, I strongly advise you to get whatever the current summer event ship is. Now, we can see here the biathlon is getting ready to start. We're going to jump on our power board. We have 46 seconds left on the clock before it starts, which is good. I need to select join biathlon, like I just did there with the F key. So, yeah, there are a number of events, seasonal events throughout the year. The first one is the anniversary, which usually takes place at the end of January, beginning of February. Then you have the summer event, usually around June, July. This year it was July. Not sure if it's going to be back to June again next year, but we'll see. And then you have the winter event in December running into January. There is a new seasonal event coming around this October, I think. And we don't have an awful lot of information on that yet. But there might be a free ship with that as well. We don't know. So if you're watching this after the summer event has ended, there might be a new seasonal event with another ship, which would be kind of cool, because then you'd have one for each of the various seasons of the year, essentially, which would be 4 free ships a year, which is pretty freaking sweet. Anyway, right, we're in the biathlon. Same deal again. If you jump on the ramps, if you go over the markers, you get speed boosts. You do not want to activate your... You do not want to activate your floater until you get to here. If you activate it any sooner, you will be disqualified. As you can see the rings here, we're just flying through the rings. It's pretty simple. But there is a guy right in my tail. The other guy that was in the race with me is right in my 6. Right, so we're near the end of the race now. We're going to go up here and to the right. Up we go, turning to the right. There's the second last marker, last marker, and the end of the race. And voila, we got first. And we got 75 favors and 12 tropical tags. And we got an accolade for completing that as well. Let's see, where did that guy go? Oh, I must have lost him somewhere along the way. Awesome. Right. So yeah, that's the biathlon. There isn't much to it. By the way, actually, here's something you might be interested in. Scattered throughout Ryza are these Ryzian tropical birds. These are the birds that you can raise with the eggs. And you can enjoy the view at any one of their locations. There's a number of them scattered around. See here, it kind of brings a cutscene. And I believe there's an accolade for getting all of them. And yeah, they're scattered throughout the map. Now, here's the next thing I want to show you. We're going to go all the way over here, over this side. And once you get to this corner here, there is a little hidden cave. See? And we've actually gone in underneath the volcano now. There's a turn here to the right. You can... sorry, not here. There's kind of an open area here. Then you turn to the right here, but there is a dead end here to the left. See? Dead end. But anyway, we go to the right, and then we take a left, and it'll lead us out. And there's a rope bridge leading across. And see, we're at the back of the resort, and here's the promenade. So it gives you an idea where we are. If we look at the map, you can see this is where we are now. We were originally here, and this is where the bird was. Okay. So yeah, you know, there's a nice bit of exploration to be done on Ryza. And as you can see, I've already picked up a number of accolades, like without even trying, just, you know, running around. So I strongly encourage you, if it's your first time coming to Ryza, take a bit of time, do a bit of exploration, run around, fly around, use the power board to get around, you know, do all these different things and check out all the little nooks and crannies, and yeah, get to know the place, because it's kind of cool. I love the map. I really, really love the map. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really beautiful. Right, we're going to kick in our floater. We are coming near the end of the episode. This was an extra long episode, but I wanted to complete all of the summer event stuff in one episode, and I know there's a couple of people who are waiting on it in particular, and apologies, guys. Again, false fire. I know the part that you're waiting on is right here now at the very end of the episode, so I apologize for that. But look, that's how the clock, the event schedule went. So yeah, I'll let you know when I get talking to you that it's near the end of the episode, so you can fast forward if you want to. Right. Oh crap! I don't want to beam up. Deactivate this. Right. Artifact scavenger hunt starts in 45 seconds. So this is a mission that we will be able to pick up, and as the name suggests, it's a scavenger hunt. An option will appear down here to join the scavenger hunt, and once we do, we will have an option here to initiate our scanner. Okay. Once we initiate the scanner, we will then move a small distance like this, and we will do another scan. And the scanner will tell us if we are either closer or further away to
For a
the
limited
artifact.
time only, I will be awarding bonus favors to anyone who comes help me locate temporal artifacts.
There's Max, what's his name, doing voiceover. So, alright, look here. I want to hunt for artifacts, okay?
Say, friend, there's a bunch of temporally displaced artifacts here
50
on Rise.
favors.
And how can I help you today?
Okay, so initialize artifact scanner. Alright, so we initialize it. Now we move forward a little bit. Alright, and now we search for artifact. And this is going to tell us if we are either closer or further away to the artifact from our previous position. So we do that, and look, it points saying it's off somewhere in that 120 degree arc, and we are closer to it. Okay, so now we go a good bit of distance in the rough direction that it pointed to. I do not know the locations of all of these things. Oh, by the way, when you initiate or when you do the search, you need to be near the ground so that you can see this red arc, alright? And we can see there, once again, we are closer. So we'll go a bit further this time. We'll get up here a little bit. Let's... yeah, about here. I think that was pointing down here. Yep, it was. Okay, so we're going down yon way. Aha! Man, I must have been right beside it. Yeah, and I'm closer. With regular practice...
You found it!
Wait, we got
Dig it up and bring it back to
With
me.
regular practice, you will get to know the location of each of these things. It's not random. It's random. It's random from a list. All right, but the list is finite. There is only a certain amount of them. So with practice, you will get to know the location of each of the artifacts. I don't know them myself, but it's not like, so with the Horgon hunt, I know all of 10 locations off by heart for the route that I do and the route that I showed you guys. But to be honest, I don't like the artifact scavenger hunt. It's not that much fun for me.
Well done. How can I help?
So yeah, I haven't taken the time to learn it. But yeah, you know, if you guys, I mean, 50 favors is 50 favors at the end of the day, you know. It's nothing to, you know, snub your nose at, really, I suppose. It's not bad, you know, for a few minutes work, like. But some people do really like it, you know. Everyone's different. But that's basically what you do, alright? So it'll tell you if you're closer or further away from your last scan position, and it'll point a general direction. Granted, it's like well, it's more than, what, a 45, it's about 45 degree arc. That is like, it's somewhere over here. But it's not that difficult, yeah, once you get used to it. I'm trying to think if there is anything else. Next thing up is Powerboard Race, then we're back into Biathlon, then we're back to the Scavenger Hunt, then we're back to the Dance-Off. Yeah, there isn't really anything else. That's the daily. It's the Artifact Scavenger Hunt, Powerboard Race, Biathlon. The only thing we didn't do was the Dance-Off, but I explained that to you guys. I done that on purpose. We talked about the monkeys, we talked about the tropical birds. Bank mail exchange access in there, summer event ship. Yeah, I think that's everything. Right, okay, I guess we'll leave it there for now. So thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I appreciate all of your support so much. You have no idea, seriously. I've said it so many times, every single like, every single view, every single comment makes a huge difference, and I appreciate every one of you so much for the support that you've shown. Because, you know, I'm pretty new at this YouTube thing. I'm getting started, and it's going good, you know. The channel is growing. People are coming across the videos. They're learning about the game. Yeah, thanks a million for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. Anyway, my name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So until then, adios.